Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at the market and jumping straight into EOS price predictions for May, June, and 2021. If you look down the price list on Coinbase alone, you see massive decreases across the market. Everybody seems to be losing. If we take a look at the losers and gainers though, we have a ton of losers, right? We have 74 assets under the losers column. We go to gainers and instantly you're going to find EOS a 19.92% increase, which is massive. Anytime you see something like that, there's going to be either an announcement or there's going to be a reason for this massive increase. Usually it doesn't just happen, but let's jump straight into the EOS price chart here. Give it a quick refresh. We are at 1161 right now, a 19% increase. We see the volume in the last 24 hours being above the market cap. So I want to explain that that's not really what's happening here. The market cap is just not up to date, but the volume is, I believe, up to date at $11.8 billion. That is massive. Obviously, being above the previous market cap, that is going to be a big deal for EOS as we move forward. I do want to talk about where we're going to continue to move on to. And like I said, guys, we talk about EOS a lot on this channel. So if you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, make sure to quickly subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video before we get started. So EOS is a cryptocurrency designed to support large-scale applications. There are no fees to send or receive EOS. Instead, the protocol rewards the entities that run the network periodically with new EOS, effectively substituting inflation for transaction fees. So we all saw massive dips yesterday. Pretty much everybody saw them. I accidentally clicked learn there, but everybody saw those massive dips. EOS definitely was one of those that had a little dip. It went from 979 to about 818. So if you're able to buy in at that dip, you are seeing already great price increases because we are at 1161 and continuing this push. Hopefully we saw it go from 902 at 8:30 a.m. all the way to this 1161, and I think that's maybe not done yet. I think we could stabilize out and even see more increases within the next couple weeks. If we take a look at the last week alone, a 70% increase. In the last month, a 75% increase. So we are seeing massive increases in the last week, month, and 24-hour period. If we take a look at the most recent tweets, it'll explain exactly why we are seeing massive moves. So the first thing we're going to look at is EOS looks like ETC before mooning. It is a very similar price chart here. Is exactly what you want to look at. If you find something that matches, usually they act fairly similar, which is pretty awesome to actually understand in crypto. That doesn't take place too often. It's not too easy to predict exactly where crypto is going to end up in what day and what hour. But this makes it fairly similar. Price chart makes it fairly easy to understand that we are going to see hopefully some good things. Definitely in a bull run or a bull market is usually the case. So we move on to our next one. We see Block.one and prominent investors launch bullish global with $10 billion in funding and announce the 2021 launch of new cryptocurrency exchange, Bullish. So this is a big deal. Obviously, if you guys don't know about this, I did retweet it, so it was out to my Twitter followers as quickly as I could find it. So make sure to quickly subscribe. I guess we already subscribed, but jump into the description of the video, follow me on Twitter, and then join the Discord as well. You can talk with crypto like-minded people, and you can also get the news as fast as possible on Twitter following me. So let's take a look at this article because this is a big deal. Obviously, Block.one and the prominent investors launched Bullish Global with $10 billion in funding and announced the 2021 launch of new cryptocurrency exchange, Bullish. So if you guys don't know much about this, they do have a full article here. Like I said, we're not going to read too much into it because if you look here, it is a wall of text for the most part, but it's a big deal, and I think that should be obvious to a lot of people. They have investors that include obviously some big-time people, 263K followers, 263K followers, and this guy's got about 12K, so a fairly good following that is going to all really help EOS and Block.one as a whole. So let's take a look at the next tweet we're going to look at. So a blockchain platform with long-time backers include billionaires Peter Thiel, Alan Howard, and Louis Bacon will launch a crypto exchange. So this is obviously a big deal, like we talked about. Bloomberg Crypto's going over it as well. So we're continuing to see more and more articles about crypto, and as well as more and more articles about EOS, specifically this big announcement they just came out with, and it's a big deal. Obviously, seeing billionaires invest in something they obviously believe it's going to do good, and I think it's going to do well as well. So let's jump into the actual website real quick and give you guys a brief explanation of what EOS is for those of you who don't know, and then we'll jump back and do those price predictions for May, June, and 2021. So to start off, we do see EOSIO, and we see fast, flexible, and forward-driven. So they have free training until September 30th if you want to learn more about it, but they have the EOSIO, and they talk about fast and scalable, high configurable, developer friendly. They also talk about the security and compliance focus. So you can find out more on that as well. But this is a very, very solid website for developers. Like I said, guys, they're always trying to really cater to developers because the developers are what makes EOS so special. So you can go to the developer portal. You can learn more about, EOSIO for developers, as well as the test nets on the right. There's just a lot of information here to actually jump into. They have learning and resources, but the big thing we're going to want to look into is some news. So let's see if they have any big news recently besides what we saw. If you take a look at the news in the bottom, you don't see much other than this April 26th. They talked about the Omni One Pioneers decentralized ID on EOSIO. But there is, like I said, this huge announcement that just came out. It's going to be a big deal. A lot of people are going to understand that EOS is going to have a very, very solid future with something like Bullish coming out. What is the relationship between Block One and EOSIO? This is a great question. I get a lot in comments. So make sure to quickly take a look at this one. So Block.one, a producer of highly scalable, high performance, and open source software, is at the forefront of developing the next generation of the internet. Its leading edge solutions serve the needs of large scale enterprises as they seek to integrate blockchain into their business models. Learn more about Block.one in this video. So they give you a great idea of what, I guess, a great answer to some of these questions if you want to jump into their FAQ, which I always suggest doing, jumping into their website at the very least, because remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, so it's great to do your own research before investing. But without further ado, let's jump into this price prediction. Let's give it a quick refresh. We see 11.55 now, kind of jumping back down. We saw it actually go all the way up to, it looks like $12.11 at 9:45 a.m. So we are seeing it kind of come back down pretty heavily. We'll see where it ends up. I think, either way, if we stabilize out at a good price point above $11, hopefully, we are going to see some good increases, and a lot of people are going to be happy with the profits that they're able to take. And a lot of people are just profit taking at the top right now at $12.11, so nothing wrong with that. But let's take a look, like I said, at May, June, and 2021. So we saw, like I said, 1330, May 6th. So we saw 8 p.m. We saw 1330 as the price. And we saw obviously a lot recently on the movement as well. So we are going to get back to what I believe our previous all-time high. If we look at the all-time highs, we can see that, 2289 was our previous all-time high, April 28th, 8 p.m. This was back in 2017, I believe. So just a massive, massive increase coming for EOS in this 2021 period still to come. I think by the end of May, we could easily see EOS pushing right around $15 to $20. And I will say that's a price range that's fairly large, but I think it's going to be hard to predict exactly where EOS ends up. It does depend a lot on this new recent announcement, as well as everything else that EOS is really accomplishing at this point in time. Do remember, guys, there is a lot of utility behind EOS, and that's exactly what's driving this as well. We see a lot of utility in really, I guess, the use cases behind EOS specifically for developers is huge. So we'll see $15 to $20 is my price prediction for the end of May. Going into the end of June, after taking a look at some technical analysis before this video as well, it does look like EOS does have a good looking, next couple months view behind it. I think because of that, I think, by the end of June, we'll see about a $25 price point as a price target. That's going to be more than a 2x, and that's giving a lot of potential behind EOS. We'll have to see a lot more days of, pretty fast moving EOS, and I think that's something that we could definitely see. But do remember, these are conservative price predictions, so for the most part, I do want to say EOS above $20 by the end of June would still be an accomplishment. I know I said 15 to 20 by the end of May, but do remember, guys, a 2x by the end of June is going to be my exact price target. So let's go with about $23 as a price target by the end of June. Going to the end of 2021, this is where I think we could actually pick up a little bit of more speed. Obviously, June wouldn't be a huge month if my price predictions are correct, but I think, by the end of the year, we are going to start to see a lot more movement in EOS. Seeing, EOS push around that $40 to $50 mark is definitely something that I think is possible. So $40 to $50, that's going to be my price range for EOS by the end of the year. That would obviously be a lot larger of a market cap, and I think that's definitely something that could come into play. So thank you guys so much for stopping by, talking to me about EOS. If you guys want to, make sure to quickly subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video. We also have referral codes to a bunch of exchanges below. If you guys could take advantage of those, it would help you, it would help me. So I think Voyager is the one right now that gives you $25 every time you sign up, or I guess every time you download Voyager app and input $100. So you'll get $25 of Bitcoin, and that will obviously support me as well. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys all in the next one.